Hi, my name is Wendy Hart. As a mother, taxpayer, business owner, and elected local school board member, here is why I am voting no on question 1. There's no need for a gas tax increase. If you want to guarantee money goes directly to your child's classroom and to education in general, here's the solution. Donate directly to your local school district's foundation. Otherwise, you're gambling on where and how a supposed tax increase is going to go. Here's what you need to know. Utah spends more as a percentage of our budget than any other state in the country on education. Utah spends over 40% of its $17 billion budget on education, and that is no small number. So Utah's budget currently has enough funding to adequately provide for K-12 education funding. Utahns have faced over $500 million in tax increases over the last few years. Since 2015 alone, property taxes have increased by $268 million. The gas tax increased another 5 cents per gallon. So if this tax increase gets implemented, it would be a 33% gas tax increase, and we would pay 60 cents per gallon. California only has a 30-cent per gallon state gas tax. And who will that tax increase impact the most? It will impact those who drive a lot. The pizza delivery guy trying to put himself through college, the mom taking kids to school, lessons, dance, and sporting events, rural inhabitants, and the teachers who still have to drive to schools to teach. There is no guarantee this money will go towards K-12 education. Just last year alone, $815 million was taken from the education fund and given to higher ed. Proponents of question 1 could have chosen to leave all of education funding from the income tax strictly to K-12, but they didn't want to leave higher ed out of the mix. Higher education is included in any discussion about increased money for education, and if this gas tax increase is implemented, higher ed gets a large chunk of the money. You don't hear about that because pictures of college students drinking coffee doesn't make us want to open our wallets. We only see cherubic elementary students on all the billboards because it's for the children gets the emotional response they are looking for. But constitutionally, gas taxes can't be used for education. So if they do raise gas taxes, that money will be used for roads, and most of it will be managed by the Utah Department of Transportation. That's not education now, is it? We don't need more money in education. Our legislators have allocated over $1.2 billion in additional funds to education over the last 3 years. Unfortunately, we have very little way of tracking the money and knowing what is being spent on what and how down to the student and classroom level. No one in education understands where the bulk of the money goes, and this is a huge problem we need to fix first before throwing more money at education. We need more local taxpayers weighing in on the local and state priorities for education. Do you want to buy your superintendent a new home? Do you want tax dollars to pay for association dues for school board members or partnerships with private universities? Or would you prefer smaller class sizes? Are smaller class sizes better than hiring coaches to train the teachers? Do you want your kids to learn Common Core math or more traditional math? Only you can be influential in setting the priorities for your local school district and for the state. What's more, as I said before, you don't have to wait for the legislature to increase funding for education. You can do that right now. Every school district has a nonprofit foundation for tax-deductible donations. You can donate any amount directly to any teacher's classroom or to a program like band or drama or art or to the school as a whole. It doesn't go through administration or any other approval process. The teacher and the school don't have to put together an annual plan to be approved by the higher-ups to get that money. And you don't have to force those who are struggling the most to pay for something you can pay for yourself. Just imagine if those who spent millions on the Question 1 initiative had donated that same amount to their local schools instead of trying to force you to agree with their vision for taxation. Vote no on Question 1 and donate to your local schools through the district foundations right now.